Pepe holders, this could be huge. While Bitcoin bulls like Tom Lee are calling for $250,000 per Bitcoin this year, the real opportunity might be brewing in the meme coin space, and Pepe could be next in line for a massive move. Doji is leading a $5 billion meme coin surge, but Pepe's holder count just hit an all-time high, and whales are quietly loading up despite recent price dips. This kind of setup has historically preceded explosive rallies, and if Bitcoin rips higher, Pepe could be looking at a serious breakout. In today's video, we'll break down why Pepe could be ready to run, how the latest whale activity is shaping the chart, and what all of this means for your bags going into the next big market move. So, if you have any interest in Pepe or you hold any Pepe coins, then you need to see this. What is the latest Pepe news, and how will all of this affect the value of Pepe? In today's video, I will be answering these questions, and I am going to be telling you all of the new price-boosting information that has just come out about Pepe coin, and how there is still a high possibility you could become a millionaire from Pepe. I have put a lot of research into this video, so make sure you watch the entire video to not miss out on any price-boosting information. Welcome to Crypto Hype, your daily dose of crypto. If you are interested in everything around crypto, this is the place for you. Subscribe if you want to stay updated with all the crypto news, predictions, and stay one step ahead in the crypto world. Make sure to hit the like button for us to pick. Let's take a look at the chart and see what the price of Pepe is doing on the 6th of August, shall we? Pepe's price today is around 1,031 units with 4 zeros. Pepe's price is down 3% in the last 24 hours, with a 24-hour trading volume of $534 million. The token also currently has a market cap of over $4.3 billion, ranking it as the 39th most valuable cryptocurrency. Please keep in mind these prices might have changed by the time you watch this video, and this content is not financial advice. So let's not waste any time and get into it. Before we get to Pepe news, we must cover the biggest news stories in the general crypto market first. Bitcoin may still have steam for $250,000 this year. Fundstrat's Tom Lee. Fundstrat co-founder and BitMine chairman Tom Lee said Bitcoin may reach $250,000 in 2025, despite other crypto analysts cautiously pulling back targets. I think Bitcoin should really build upon this 120 before the end of the year. 200,000 maybe, 250, Lee told Natalie Brunell on the Coin Stories podcast on Tuesday. Last November, Lee gave a 12-month deadline for Bitcoin to reach $250,000. Not all analysts are as bullish as Tom Lee. While analysts like BitMEX co-founder Arthur Hayes and Unchained's market research director Joe Burnett have recently echoed a similar price target for the year, others have adopted a more cautious outlook with less than 5 months left until the end of 2025. In May, Bernstein and Standard Chartered set their year-end Bitcoin targets at $200,000, while 10x Research's Marcus Thielen recently projected a more modest $160,000. Lee said there is a probability that the 4-year cycle has ended for Bitcoin due to the mounting institutional interest in Bitcoin, an increasingly shared belief among executives in the industry. However, crypto analyst Rekt Capital recently said that if the Bitcoin cycle follows the 2020 pattern, the market will likely peak in October, which is 550 days after the Bitcoin halving in April 2024. Bitwise Chief Investment Officer Matt Hugin recently called the 4-year halving dead and predicted that 2026 will be an up year for Bitcoin. Crypto market sentiment shifts to neutral. Lee's optimistic target comes as Bitcoin has seen a volatile week. After reaching a new all-time high of $123,100 on July 14, BTC pulled back to $112,044 over the weekend and was trading around $113,000 at the time of publication, according to Nansen. There's also been a recent tumble in crypto market sentiment. The Crypto Fear and Greed Index, which measures overall market sentiment, shifted from a greed score of 60 on Tuesday to a neutral score of 54 on Wednesday. Lee said skepticism is a positive in any financial market. It's a sign that there is still price discovery underway, because if people were all bullish in the public realm, when everyone is bullish, then it's probably in the price, he said. When there is plenty of skepticism and reasons to be skeptical, it allows markets to have positive surprise. Lee forecasts that Bitcoin should reach $1 million over time. If you are still watching, it would be massively appreciated if you could go ahead and smash the like button. It costs nothing and really helps support the channel. Also, keep watching to find out the latest Pepe coin news. Arthur Hayes offloads $13 million in ETH Pepe and ENA. Amid market pullback, BitMEX co-founder Arthur Hayes sold approximately $13 million worth of crypto assets on Friday, including Ethereum, Ethena, and Pepe, amid a market-wide decline, according to blockchain analytics platform LookinChain. The sales comprise 2,373 ETH, 7.7 million ENA, and around 39 billion Pepe tokens. Over the past 24 hours, Ethereum fell 5% to below $3,600, while both Pepe and ENA declined about 2%, CoinGecko data shows. ENA had gained over 40% to $0.7 in the past week, following two key developments: the launch of USD2B, the first stablecoin compliant with the U.S. Genius Act by Anchorage Digital and Athena Labs, and Athena Foundation's announcement of a $260 million ENA token buyback. Hayes had accumulated over 2 million ENA tokens after the Anchorage Digital and Athena Labs announcement, building his position to 7.7 million tokens before today's sale. Friday's market downturn was marked by Bitcoin's plunge to $113,000, following President Trump's announcement of new tariffs, which triggered a wave of risk-off sentiment. Most altcoins followed BTC as the bullish momentum faded. Hayes previously predicted that crypto markets would move sideways to slightly lower between early July and Fed Chair Jerome Powell's Jackson Hole Symposium speech in August, where he anticipated Powell might signal an end to quantitative tightening or announce regulatory changes. Can Pepe bounce back as Doge dominates the $5 billion meme coin surge? Speculative appetite is heating up again. Meme coins are up nearly 4% in the last 24 hours, with inflows topping $5 billion in just 2 days. This pushed the total meme coin market cap to $65 billion, reviving risk-on sentiment. Dogecoin led the charge, tagging the $0.20 handle after a 3.51% bounce. It's a notable recovery after 2 weeks of distribution, where Doge shed 30% from the $0.27 local top. Meanwhile, Pepe has posted a more modest 1.61% gain off of the 1,040 units base. Rotation risk creeps in. In other words, as Bitcoin pulls risk off capital, traders are rotating into higher beta plays like meme coins to chase short-term alpha. The Doji Bitcoin pair rose 1.72% to start the week. 6 of the top 10 daily gainers were meme tokens. It's clear the speculative bid is back. That said, Pepe hasn't caught the same tailwind. Despite the Pepe Bitcoin pair bouncing off a key support, it's still missing from the top gainer list. Could this be a lagging move, or are flows starting to rotate out? Pepe adoption holds steady as price dips. Pepe dropped 18% this week, making it the worst performer among the top 3. And yet, its holder count has hit an all-time high at 472,158. Sure, it's still way behind Doge, which has 8.3 million holders. However, zooming into on-chain data, notable divergences emerge. According to Etherscan metrics, the top 100 Pepe wallets control 72.74% of the total supply, indicating a higher concentration. By comparison, Doji's top 100 holders account for 63.79% of its circulating supply. On the flip side, Pepe's top 10 holders account for 39% of the total supply, whereas Doji's control 44%. In summary, Pepe is more concentrated overall in the top 100, but a bit less stacked at the very top. And this stronger concentration among Doji's largest wallets seems to be paying off. Doji ended July with a 30% gain, whereas Pepe posted a 12.8% rally. In summary, despite the meme coin's ramping on-chain activity, it's still trailing Doji on both technical setups and fundamentals. That puts Doge in a stronger position to close August higher. But this isn't the only big news in crypto recently. If you want to find out the best crypto to buy now, then click the video on screen now. Trust me, you do not want to miss out on these 1000x potential altcoins.
Whales cannot be stopped. Trillions of Shiba Inu tokens, hundreds of millions of dollars. And the data suggests that this is just the beginning. People are waking up seeing these numbers, trying to benefit from this opportunity. But what is actually happening? And how long will this market craze last? Well, let's find out. Disclaimer: the market has pivoted to a recovery phase, but some altcoins still haven't reclaimed their yearly highs, despite Bitcoin spiking above the $71,000 threshold. Shiba Inu is also part of this recovery trend, but is facing strong resistance due to multiple sell walls. A sell wall occurs when a large number of sell orders are placed at a particular price level, creating a barrier that can be difficult for the price to rise above. For example, imagine there are 100 Shiba Inu tokens available for sale at 1 penny. If buyers only want to purchase 50 tokens at that price, the supply at that level is much higher than that. Demand making it hard for the market to buy the tokens that are available at that price to move up past 1 penny. However, there is a way we can surpass these sell walls and achieve new highs for Shiba Inu. But before we dive into that, we need to take a look at what's happening with Bitcoin today. Has been a literally crazy day for Bitcoin, and its impact on Shiba Inu is enormous. Spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds or ETFs have achieved their longest streak of consecutive net inflows since they launched, with 18 straight days of positive flows as of Thursday. Since launching in January 2021, the price of Shiba Inu has increased by $1.2 billion, and even though the current inflows are still lower than the peak levels in March, according to the Block's data dashboard, the sustained positive net inflows, especially driven by BlackRock, highlight continued strong interest and confidence in Bitcoin among investors. 18 days in a row of positive inflows definitely gives us a bullish sign. It shows that more investors are putting their money into crypto, which is some very good news for any crypto enthusiast. But traditional investors aren't the only ones accumulating Bitcoin. Just take a look at this crypto whale. According to a report by Wu Blockchain based on research from CryptoQuant, around $1 billion worth of Bitcoin is being added every day to a massive new whale wallet. In total, long-term holders have amassed 70 Bitcoin over the last 30 days, with whale demand increasing at a rate of 4.4% per month. And now you might be wondering if 4.4 is a big number. It definitely is. To put it in perspective, if you start with $10,000 and add 4.4% every month in 5 years, you'd have a lot more than you might expect after 5 years. That 10,000 would grow to around $87,000. This shows how powerful a 4.4% monthly increase can be over time, highlighting the significant impact of the current whale demand on Bitcoin's market. But in addition to that, just today, according to CoinGlass data, Bitcoin open interest has reached a new all-time high peak of $37 billion open. Interest refers to the total dollar amount of Bitcoin in the last 5 years, which is about a third of the total dollar amount of outstanding Bitcoin futures or options contracts. And you might be wondering, is this metric important? Absolutely. Open interest is a crucial indicator of market sentiment and activity in the futures and options markets. A high level of open interest suggests that there is significant trading activity and interest in Bitcoin derivatives, indicating a strong and active market. So while some may have thought that the crypto market is flat and boring right now, it actually isn't. The record-breaking open interest is a significant indicator of the market, and Bitcoin futures and options demonstrates that there is still plenty of excitement and activity happening in the crypto space. But here's something very interesting. Despite the strong inflows and a Bitcoin rally past 71.0, Google Trends data reveals a surprising trend. Compared to 2021, hardly any Americans are conducting searches related to Bitcoin, FSITs, price, or crypto in general. Google Trends assigns a value out of 100 based on a search interest relative peak popularity. For example, on June 5, searches for Bitcoin originating from the US scored only 31, while Bitcoin ETF had a mere 1. Other related searches such as Bitcoin price and crypto received slightly higher index scores of 18 and 13, respectively, but still remained significantly below the search volumes during 2021's retail-driven bull run. Interest in crypto-related searches has dwindled over the year. There were spikes in interest across the board. On January 11th, the price of Bitcoin has been rising for the past year, and the price of Bitcoin has been all-time high for the first time since 2021. It's noteworthy that search interest for Bitcoin peaked in May 2021, a few weeks after surpassing 50,000 for the first time and just before reaching its long-standing all-time high of nearly 69,000 in November 2021. Crypto analyst Miles Dutcher shared data indicating a significant decline in viewership of crypto-related YouTube channels compared to 2021, despite Bitcoin surpassing its previous all-time high in 2021. During Bitcoin's peak, crypto YouTube channels were garnering around 4 million daily views. However, in 2024, despite Bitcoin reaching new highs, daily views have dropped to approximately 800,000. Dutcher emphasized, retail isn't back yet. According to him, there's no better indicator of the current state of the market than crypto YouTube views. This decline in viewership suggests that mainstream retail interest in cryptocurrency has not returned to the level seen during the 2021 bull run, despite Bitcoin's price reaching new heights. But still, with 18 days of Bitcoin ETF inflows and massive whale accumulation, you might wonder, why hasn't the price skyrocketed yet? Where's the impact of these developments? Well, that's a good question. Analyst Jimmy sheds some light on this. He explains that spot Bitcoin ETFs worldwide hold only about 5% of the total Bitcoin circulating supply, while the majority is held by whales. Jimmy notes that while ETF inflows are indeed significant, they are still minimal compared to the volume of Bitcoin being traded and sold by these large holders. He emphasizes that for every buyer in the market, there needs to be a seller, and the actions of these major players can heavily influence price movements. Even though the price might not react immediately, the recent developments such as 18 consecutive days of inflows into Bitcoin, ETFs, and whales accumulating Bitcoin are still considered bullish. This is because these actions demonstrate a growing interest and confidence in Bitcoin as an asset class among both institutional investors and individual traders. While the price might not reflect these developments right away due to various factors influencing the market, such as short-term speculation and profit-taking, the underlying trend indicates a strengthening foundation for Bitcoin's long-term growth. Essentially, these actions lay the groundwork for future price increases. In the long term, the price of Bitcoin is expected to rise to $1.5 billion, which is a significant increase in the market's day-to-day fluctuations. But what about Shiba Inu? Well, if Bitcoin experiences a significant price increase due to recent developments, it will have a massive impact on Shiba Inu. We know that Shiba Inu is highly sensitive to Bitcoin movements and shares a strong correlation with it. Currently, Shiba Inu faces a major obstacle in the form of a massive sell wall, according to Into the Block data. This wall represents a threshold. We're over the top. Over 64,000 addresses collectively hold 69 trillion Shiba Inu tokens, which is over 10% of the entire supply. The selling pressure from these addresses often leads to corrections in Shiba Inu's price, as we've seen in recent movements. As a result, Shiba Inu has retraced most of the gains it made during the recent rally. This situation can be frustrating for Shiba Inu investors, as the presence of such a large sell wall can impede its upward momentum. However, Shiba Inu is now aiming to sell Shiba Inu, stabilize above its current price level, and use it as a foundation for a second upward push when bullish sentiment returns. To surpass this immediate sell wall, Shiba Inu would need to confidently close above 4027. But with the potential upcoming push in Bitcoin's price, according to previous patterns, this should significantly benefit Shiba Inu. This is precisely what we need for Shiba Inu to overcome its current challenges and resume its upward trajectory. But what is your opinion on that? Comment down below. I'd be eager to read your opinion. If you are curious to find more, then make sure to click on one of the videos you see on screen. And with that, we come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video, then please like this video and don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section. This really helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Also, please share this video to as many people as possible. Let's get this news out there.